Yo, yo, yo! And welcome to this week's edition of Owl Eyez on BASE Defi, the show where we cover the latest and greatest stuff going on in DeFi right now, and we talk LPs. Guys, when we're talking about opportunities, yes, the 10x overnights are sexy, but in terms of risk management, one thing that I've been learning about this year has been allocating a portion of the portfolio towards yield pools, because market up, market down, market sideways, they are generating yields. And I am joined by my professor, my co-host, my friend, Crypto Noah. Buddy, how are you today?
Man, I'm doing good. Just trying to stay warm. I'm here at my auntie's house in Detroit, Michigan. And, today is actually like 55 degrees. It feels like springtime, but I fly back to San Francisco on Sunday. So I'm excited to get back into the Bay Area. But we got some good stuff for you guys today. But, per usual, got to show the swag here. This is a ZK Bob shirt from ETH Denver. I got back in 2023. Super comfortable. I actually took this to Europe with me when I was traveling, and it has the ZK Bob on it. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to stay comfy, trying to stay warm, man. How you doing over there?
Man, I am staying, I think, probably warmer than you.
Probably.
Because I'm back in sunny Portugal, the land where winter, blink and you'll miss winter.
I wish.
Huh?
I wish.
It was, yeah, literally. Like, I was in Slovakia just before this, and now it is like a foot of snow. And like we were driving through a blizzard on the last day, and I was like, oh man, like this is like, yeah, it's fun when it settles and fun when you have like make snowmen, but driving in the blizzard, oh, forget about it. So coming back to Portugal, I was like, I was in full Eskimo gear, not crypto swag. I was just like literally like everything, or like half my suitcase was on my body, and then I just landing in Portugal, the land of eternal sunshine. I was like, oh my days, it feels so good to be back. The kids were elated. They were like, they opened the door and ran in the house like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad to be back. I'm like, why did we even go on holiday? Like, damn it, like we could have just left you here, just Netflix and chill, play with your dinosaur toys. But dude, in terms of, like, before we get into this, because I know people love to know about the swag, they love to know about the weather, but one crazy thing, man, shout out to Portugal, because I was gone for like 3.5 weeks, and I didn't realize I left my car unlocked the whole time, and I get back and literally like nothing had happened, because man, it's Portugal, baby. So
That's man. When I was in Portugal, because I spent 3.5 weeks there when we met. We Lisbon, Porto, came down to Faro and Algarve where you guys were. And everyone I met there's this song by this artist named Tina Marie, God rest her soul, rest in peace. She has a song called Portuguese Love. And my parents used to listen to it growing up all the time. And my whole time when I was there in Portugal, I was asking people like, have you heard Portuguese Love by Tina Marie? Nobody heard it, man. Nobody heard it. So that made me pretty sad. You should listen to that song with your wife.
Is she a Portuguese artist, or?
Well, she is from Portugal. She is Portuguese, but she was an American artist. But she was like A-list back in the, I want to say late 80s, early 90s. You know that one song, Square Biz? I'm talking Square Biz to you, baby. Square Biz. You know that song?
I think you need to sing the second verse.
Yeah.
No, it was slightly before my time, but dude, you're not older than me. But no, I guess you.
How old are you?
I'm 35. You're younger than me, right?
I'm 32.
Man, you got your whole life ahead of you.
Man,
when you get to my age, you start to look back on things and just.
Yeah, I'm not that far off, but yeah, man, you and your wife should check out that song when you get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'll call her and I'll be like, yo, how about some Portuguese Love? And she's like, go to bed, you silly.
Dude, it's a banger. It's a banger. Trust me.
Okay, well, we'll check it out. Chance, yo, build the bubble.
Bill, what's up, man? You ready to hop into the show? I got some good stuff for you guys today, and then I want to talk about the project that you were looking at after, because it seemed like a pretty good yield opportunity. I know you said you and Fireside, and that project had some collaboration. So, guys, stick around to the end. You ready to jump in, man?
Absolutely, I'm ready to learn, brother.
All right, cool. So basically, today I want to talk about how on-chain reputation is becoming financial collateral, and why BASE and how BASE is early to this trend. So the question I want to open with is, imagine, what if your wallet history mattered more than your credit score, right? Like, what if how you've behaved on-chain becomes collateral and not just how much money you have? So I think in the future, we're going to see trust being tokenized. We're already seeing social media being tokenized. Everything's going to be tokenized except air, probably. And I think BASE is going to be a good testing ground for this shift. And, you know, this isn't sci-fi stuff. We're going to give you guys some practical applications. So let's talk about the core issue. So the core issue is that DeFi treats everyone the same. It's untrusted. And, you know, that's a gift and a curse. You know, over collateralization is very inefficient, right? This is the pawn shop model where you have to have something that's worth more value to borrow less money, right? So if I want to go on Aave or something and borrow some money, if I want to borrow $100, I got to have at least $150 in collateral. And it's like the whole point of borrowing money is to, yeah, it's cool to, you know, be able to use crypto as collateral and stay exposed to price appreciation, and you don't pay taxes on borrowed funds. But the whole point of borrowing money is to get access to money you didn't have, right? And this is how people and institutions borrow money in TradFi. They don't do the over collateralized stuff, right? Because they have credit scores and reputations and things that they go off of. So over collateralization is inefficient. You know, capital is locked instead of productive, and it's no difference between a long-term liquidity provider. It's no difference between a fresh wallet and an older wallet or a Sybil attacker, right? So the key point is that DeFi doesn't lack capital, it actually lacks trust primitives. Okay, so now what is on-chain reputation? Just give you guys a simple explanation. So it's your financial behavior record, and it includes how long your wallets existed, how often you interact, whether or not you repay loans and how long it takes you, liquidity provider consistency, governance participation, and then history of liquidations or lack thereof. So think credit score, think account age, think payment history, but without banks. So now, why is BASE perfectly positioned for this? Coinbase is the identity bridge. Guys, they have over 300 million KYC users, so they already have that. They're compliance-friendly users as well, right? You're not signing up felons to get a Coinbase account. At least I don't think so. And then it links real-world identity to on-chain behavior. No other L2 has this distribution plus identity combo. None. Because Coinbase was an exchange first before they launched their base network. Okay? So their wallet UX enables reputation tracking, right? So you have a Coinbase wallet as default entry. Users don't rotate wallets as often because they have their names associated with it. You know, I'm crypto.noah.base.eth or something like that. And then that's going to lead to longer lived wallet histories. And reputation needs these persistent identities. Okay. So the next thing, Base app is building apps for normies, right? Not max anon farmers. Users are going to behave more like TradFi customers by default just because I had set up, and that's going to lead to better data and better scoring, right? So now the next thing is, how does reputation become collateral? Okay, let's talk about this step by step. So for the future mechanics, wallet reputation score, activity weighted trust, and risk adjusted borrowing power. So some examples, it's going to offer lower collateral ratios, better borrow rates, the better your reputation is, higher LP boost, the better your reputation is, and preferential access to certain launches. Okay, so the important thing to keep in mind here is that this doesn't remove collateral, it actually optimizes it. Okay, so now let's talk about some real examples, some real signals. Okay, so loyalty-based incentives is going to become a thing, activity-weighted emissions, wallet age multipliers, and then anti-Sybil attack scoring. Okay, so this is going to be reputation before it's going to be called reputation on chain. Okay, now why does this matter for DeFi on Base? First thing is it's going to lead to more capital efficiency. less mercenary liquidity. You have mercenary liquidity and missionary liquidity. Mercenary is only chasing the yield, think farm and dump, versus missionary liquidity, where people are actually there because they have an actual why other than just making money. Stickier users, better risk management, and then probably the most important thing, institutional comfort. So it's just a key insight is that institutions don't fear DeFi technology. I think they fear unknown counterparties, and reputation is going to solve that. So what does this mean for viewers? How can you prepare for this and take advantage? The first thing is stop wallet hopping. You can wallet hop because, we all do airdrop farming, or not we all, but, for all my airdrop farmers out there, definitely be most active on your main wallet, right? Just like you have multiple bank accounts, but you use one to pay most of your bills. Same kind of vibes. Use one primary base wallet. Be consistent with providing liquidity, voting, and repayments. Avoid reckless liquidations, and then treat wallet behavior like a public resume, right? Your wallet is going to become your financial LinkedIn in the future. All right, now let's talk about the risk, because nothing is without its risk. So there will be privacy concerns, centralization risk, surveillance fears, and then opt-in versus mandatory reputation, right? So this isn't replacing DeFi. I think it's just creating layers and creating balance. Okay. And then for the long-term vision, just want to kind of paint the future before we wrap up on this topic, where there's going to be under collateralized loans. There's going to be on-chain credit lines. And for the under collateralized loans, maplefinance and like Goldfinch and some projects are already doing this, but they've taken a page out of the DeFi Mullet book, where they will verify you via your credit score off-chain and loan you the money on-chain. So it's a hybrid model. But just moving on. Under collateralized loans, on-chain credit lines, risk-tiered LP vaults, reputation-based DAOs, and financial access without BASE. And I think BASE is going to be the first chain where DeFi actually starts to behave like finance. So just a closing thought for you guys. In the next cycle, I believe that it won't just matter what you hold. I think it's going to matter who your wallet proves that you actually are, based on the actions you take or the lack thereof.
It's a very interesting take, and I can definitely see that happening in the future. I mean, a few things caught my attention. Like, first of all, you mentioned that Coinbase now has 300 million KYC wallets.
KYC users on the exchange.
300 million.
Yeah, something like that. 300 million. Yeah. Coinbase has been in business since 2015, 2016. And at every bull market, they spend a lot of time as being the #1 app on the App Store. So and now when people are connecting their Coinbase wallets, they have the thing to where if you transfer from Coinbase to your Coinbase wallet on the Base network, it's no fees. So it's an incentive for people to use Base, and people are connecting their wallet because it's easier to send and receive. So yeah, it's increasing every day.
Okay, well, I mean, that's awesome to hear. I remember when they hit 100 million, I was like, shit, this is a big pie. This is a chain that's going to win. So to hear they're at 300 million, I was like, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. And I mean, the Base app still isn't even like really, really great. It's not great yet. I mean, I'm in some group chats and some people are saying that it's maybe launched a little bit too soon. But I think when they iron out the kinks and make it really like that onboarding experience great, and make the app just like improve the app that people want to use it for more than any sort of farming opportunities, but actually just like social and just like the place like to do social trading and just interact. I think you're right. Like, we will see in the not too distant future that people, like institutions, can actually look at this data. Is this person a safe bet? Can we do a loan to this person? This also will solve an issue with like banks and mortgages. Like for me, somebody who's been in crypto for like full time for about 5 years now, like when we were buying our house, like asking for any money from the bank, they're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I have money like on chain. Here's my accounts. This is what it's worth, and this is what I do." They're just like, like what like what are you even talking about? And I was like, "But I'm a safe bet." But like they didn't want to know. But I think actually it's shown like this on-chain credibility is going to be a way that people can actually like access real world capital through on-chain good behavior, I guess.
Yeah, and to speak on your point about like basically considering your crypto as part of like your income, they passed a law last year, at least here in the United States, that when you go to get a mortgage on your house, your cryptocurrency, it legally has to be considered as actual capital, just like any other money that you have in order to get a mortgage. So that's great.
Here we have a question from Degeneer. Shout out to the Chad rocking
The year, what's happening with you, baby? So,
Degeneer is actually the dev of Fireside.
oh, lit. What's
Yeah,
up,
he's
man?
a
Brothers by association.
top G.
So it
But
says to safely give out loans, won't lenders require the KYC details of the person borrowing? The answer is yes, but the KYC details are going to be their on-chain reputation. Just like KYC in TradFi is like your credit score, which shows everything that you've done, what you pay back. Your on-chain score is going to show the same thing. So eventually they're going to have these different risk tiers based off of, okay, these actions put him in this bucket. He repaid this loan. He provided liquidity here. This is his net worth, right? And they're also going to be able to connect it to what centralized exchange you use, because those wallets are, able to be tracked as well. So eventually it's probably going to all be a hybrid. Like, it's getting harder and harder to be able to remain anonymous. I think the only way to do it is to like run your own node, like where you're mining and your coins are coming from like mining, versus if you ever touch a centralized exchange and you send it anywhere, you're doxxed. No way around that. So yeah, eventually they are going to require KYC, but the KYC will come from your on-chain reputation, I think. And I'm really bullish on, like, right now we do like this sign in with Google, sign in with email. I think in the future it's going to be a sign in with wallet for websites as well. And Base is really spearheading that with, they started this Base app was a wallet first. So that's like the underpinning as a part of the infrastructure, versus launching it after and then X402 launching. Like, it's all just been perfect timing. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
I think there's going to be two options. Like one on-chain option where I think new entities, like not banks or anything, but like it could even be set up by a handful of whales, just large VC firms who want to set up a loans process. I mean, like, that kind of already exists, but in terms of like the rates, looking at the on-chain activity, that can all still remain non-KYC'd just by looking at on-chain activity. I mean, you're saying you're doxed. Yeah, if you are able to get it down the rabbit hole deep enough, but I think just on-chain activity will suffice for on-chain lending protocols. But if we're talking about banks and like real-world capital, I think I don't see a way around KYC. And I think the fact that people need to docs to have a Coinbase account, I think that's just going to become more and more accepted. And as institutions are coming into crypto, it feels, I mean, since Coinbase is paving the way for legislation, it feels like they're going to be coming through the big Coinbase doorway, and you're going to need to KYC to have a Coinbase account. The real world loans are going to be KYC through Coinbase.
Yep. I can definitely see that. And another thing is that, how if you borrow money, like some institutions, like if it's like hard money or something like that, you borrow money and you fill out the paperwork, you basically give them authorization to, like if it's like a payday loan or something like that, you give them authorization to pull the funds out of your account, directly out of your account. So I can also see a world where, smart contracts allows the money to be programmable, right? So imagine a company loaning you some USDC. They can put a smart contract on that USDC that allows them to basically either on USDC or something attached to your wallet or something, but someone somehow, I don't know exactly how it's going to look, is going to figure out a way to do that same thing, to where the smart contract is going to be able to pull the funds out of your account. You're going to be able to access it to a wallet. And yeah, you'll be able to do things to where like you set up a whole nother wallet and send all your funds somewhere. But it's that same possibility exists to where you can send all your funds to another bank account The only thing that is like a gray area in my mind is that in TradFi, you can overdraft an account. Like when those methods can overdraft an account, but there is no way to overdraft in crypto. The funds are either in your wallet or not. So that's like the only piece in my mind where I'm kind of just like, I don't know how that part's going to work.
Well, I mean, you can like use collateral. Like I remember Blur, they had Blend. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And some people were taking out loans against their NFTs. And man, that led to some hairy situations. I remember seeing somebody lost their CryptoPunk for like a 14 ETH loan because the price of CryptoPunks dropped. I think it was like 40 ETH and it was a 14 ETH loan, so it was like it should have been covered, like a nice buffer. But something happened with like the prices, like the floor price. The floor price went down, they overdrafted, and then they lost it. The person who gave them the loan got an absolute steal on the asset, and then the person who lost their punk was obviously like, oh no, but I didn't know. I thought I'd more time, like whatever the story was. But
Yeah.
like that just, so I mean, like I guess having collateral, people could put up Bitcoin as collateral or NFTs if whatever the platform allows it.
Yeah, and that's why, like, if I'm ever on Aave and I'm like, entering into a leverage long or something, I'm trying to, if you're on Aave and you're trying to long Bitcoin, you set your Bitcoin as collateral, you borrow USDC, and then you sell it, swap it for more Bitcoin, redeposit it, and you can kind of loop it. But if Bitcoin drops, you can get liquidated. So it's always a safe bet to have some USDC as your collateral as well. Have a nice buffer. Go on ChatGPT and just say, hey, I want to leverage long this. How much Bitcoin and USDC, what ratio do I need to have as collateral so that Bitcoin has to go to $15,000 in order for me to be liquidated? Like some crazy number that won't happen, or is very unlikely, because you can never say, you never know what will happen.
Never say never.
Yeah.
But also, dude, you remember on Binance what happened not too long ago, where some coins literally went to absolute zero, just wicked down to zero, and then anybody who had cross leverage was just done. Even if it was like 1.5% leverage, just like portfolios Thanos out of existence. Just
yeah,
brutal.
it's crazy, man. That's why leverage, you really got to be careful, and you really want to use a small portion, because the returns are outsized, just like the losses can be outsized. There are platforms though, I forget if it's Curve or DeFi Saver, to where you can take on leverage and you can get liquidated, but if you stay in there, like, you can get unliquidated, which is
it's like a friend of mine, he's huge on Curve. I think he was even an early investor, but like he
must be a smart guy, because
he's very, but apart from he cashed out at 50K, he cashed out his Bitcoin mountain. I don't know how big the pile was, but he's got a mega house, and he's like, yeah, 50K, that's good for this cycle.
Hey,
I mean, anyway, he's big on Curve, and he was talking to me about like how like arbitrage opportunities and stuff, and I was like, dude, have you got a pen and paper that you can write this down, because this is like over my head. But it has like a soft liquidation, so you hit your liquidation zone, and rather than just automatically selling it all, it like staggers it out, and you have notifications, and you can top it up, even up once you've passed your liquidation zone. It's like it feels more forgiving than Bybit or whatever these other exchanges, where you touch it, the market makers look for it, they tap it, RIP, and you're done.
damn. Yeah, I've never used it, but I've heard about it. But yeah, I just stick to Aave.
I just don't do leverage anymore.
It's enough gains to. Crypto is a place where you can get leverage-like returns without leverage.
Yeah, I mean, and then that's one of the fun things about this show, because it's funny when we talk about certain LP pools, and it's like, oh, that's not very interesting. It's only offering 70% APR for the year. Like, you think about the money in the bank, where it gets. I mean, dude, my UK bank account, which now I just don't have money in it. I just I think I just have a couple of quid, just
A couple of quid? Is that what y'all call money over there? Quid?
quids are pounds. Pounds are like $1.10 or $1.20. I don't know.
I never heard that, man. I learn a new ebonic every time we talk. Got a couple quids in there, yeah.
Yeah, but the reason why I don't keep money in there, well, other than I don't have money, but yeah, I remember looking at the interest rate that they were paying. They were paying 0.25% interest on a savings account. And I'm like, wait a second. So if I have £1,000, you're going to give me £2.50 at the end of the year for letting you just have my money. I was like, there's got to be a better way.
Highway robbery.
And now when we talk about crypto, it's like, less than 100% APR.
Yeah. And you know what, man? That's only going to get worse in these next coming years as we're entering into central banks globally lowering rates. Because interest rates determined by the Federal Reserve determine interest rates on mortgages, savings accounts, car loans, like any kind of business loan is determined by the Federal Reserve interest rate. So this is why it's a really good time to lock in and invest, because funds, companies, investors are taking a risk on approach because we're entering into a low rate environment and there's a lot of liquidity flowing into the system. That liquidity needs to find a home. Always liquidity needs to find a home. It likes to earn, and it's not just going to park in bank accounts, obviously for the reasons you just listed. And US treasuries are not as attractive because interest rates are lower. So stock market, different assets are going to be more attractive, and crypto is especially attractive with the regulation that's coming in and just everything that's happening and how asymmetric it is, and just all of the, we talked a few weeks ago about JP Morgan launching their stablecoin and they don't even have to follow the Genius Act rules, and it's for institutional investors. So now it's just like, yeah, liquidity needs to find a home. It likes to follow the path of least resistance, and crypto is a pretty good path for that.
For sure.
A cool quote that I read about, I think it was in Law of Success by Napoleon Hill or something like that. It's funny how the habit of taking the line of least resistance can mean two things. So when we talk about capital, that makes sense. But he said in the book, for people, the habit of taking the line of least resistance makes all rivers and some men crooked. I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
In a sense, it tracks.
Remember, time in the market versus trying to time the market. It's going to come a time where it's going to be a lot of big candles, and we just want to make sure we're in range those days. But until then, I'll take 150, 200% APR, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't be too upset about it. So 171% APR, but this on that day it like went completely into WETH. It was like 2.6, and I was like, oh shit, like we're out of Tibber, and now it's gonna run. I don't have a Tibber spot bag. This is my Tibber spot bag. But I'm thinking to maybe take some off the table, go in with a smaller amount, because I'm hearing the birds are chirping. Tibber could be one of the plays of the cycle, and then also, dude,
I think so. And it's why do you think this project has them as one of their top pools? The Malinois, or I'm thinking of the dog.
Metalos.
I said Malinois. Yeah, man. Tibber is, I think after we get the Clarity Act, we're going to see a lot of fireworks from a lot of different projects. It's just kind of waiting to get the rules of the game.
And what's his name? Mickey Mallos?
Mickey Malka.
Mickey Malka,
Yeah.
head of Riveter Capital.
Mhm.
Man, so I bought some Gribbit NFTs, just 3, but I think, I mean, seeing strong communities like that, like seeing how strong the Tibber community is, and seeing like an NFT collection, like the first one about it, we've got some frogs. I bought 3 as a hedge because I think, if Tibber runs, the NFT is gonna run. People like, I found some Tibber whales, Tibber players, who I said, okay, look, let's do a Tibber show. Let's come on, let's talk Tibber, teach me Tibber, and
That'd be
let's
fire.
galvanize them.
Dude, I would
It would be fire. I want to
co-host that with you.
we'll do that. I mean, like, I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be like a Tibber love fest. So I want first I'm gonna interview the guy who made the NFTs, and then I want to be like, guys, let's talk Tibber on Fireside.
Man, the
And
guy who made the NFTs, I mean, I guess I can't ask if he's part of the Tibber team because we don't technically know who the team is, but we know from looking on chain. There was a guy who made those. Do you know the
yeah,
guy who made those?
yeah. Let me
Those
let me.
silver ones that look like silver coins.
No, not that.
Mm,
It's like it's okay. So I'll just share screen while I'm finding this.
okay.
So it's uh. So I'll show you the guy first. His name's like Spyro.
Man, you remember Spyro, the dragon from back in the day on PlayStation?
Oh, I mean, that's a classic.
Of course.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yep. I used to play Spyro
Spyro,
and Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah.
Yep.
Here is Spyro underscore Tibber. So this is the guy who made the Gribbits. Apparently, I haven't looked like too much into like I think it's like a game and stuff. But anyway, Tibber Maxi made Gribbits. Looking on OpenSea now.
Dude, there was also some other Tibber NFTs that was made by the Twitter, the Tibber AI agent, the Twitter account, I believe, as well. That's the ones I thought you were talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind
Okay.
of
I mean,
kind
do
of
you know what those are
utility.
going for?
I do not. I don't really buy NFTs, man. I be trying to focus. Bro, crypto is becoming a
Here it
place
is.
where
So
it's so much to focus on, man. It's crazy.
it's an impossible amount of things to focus on. But NFTs, I love it. I just love NFTs. I think NFTs are culture, and I think communities really like come together with NFTs. It's the best visual representation of a community.
I agree.
So, like, for example, I found a bunch of Tibber people because they're rocking these Gribbits as their PFPs. The floor price has come down since I bought, but that's okay. I think I got 3, and if Tibber rips, the community who's repping this is going to get a lot of visibility, and I think these will pump as well. Obviously, not financial advice, but I'm an NFT degen. But yeah, man, Tibber is one of the plays. But also, have you been watching DRB?
No,
This is crypto law right here. I like this is a token that I've known about for a long time. Haven't really. I got in once upon a time, but just like I bought like a high at some point, and it just fell off my radar. But recently, look at this, that's the 4 hour.
whoa.
4 hours looking sexy. So look,
Wow.
this is. In fact, let me just put on the daily. So you
Wow.
can see like when it launched, this thing ran up to for like 40 million market cap. But I'm just saying about the price now. I haven't even told you what this is. But basically, this is a love child. This is a love child token here. So, are you familiar with Clanker?
Yeah. You told me about Clinker.
So yeah. So Clanker, you can just speak. It's an AI agent launch pad. You can say, "Hey Clanker, I want to launch this token with this ticker." Okay, boom. and then it's this was a love child between Grok. In fact, Grok, Banker, and Clanker, and basically, he got the like I think it was even Emily Jr. who got the AI agents to talk to each other and say like, "Hey Grok, if you were to launch a token, what would it be? Tag my friend at Clanker, and launch token, create a wallet for Grok using Privy." And basically, I know I'm butchering the story a little bit, but Grok said, if I were to launch a token, it would be DRB at Clanker. And then Clanker's like, oh, you're launching a token? Boom. And then so the AI agents together made Debt Relief Bot. This was Grok's first token. Grok has a wallet with over $1 million in it of this token. Grok has money. And the reason why I think this narrative is really hot right now is that last week there was a giant uproar in the base community about creator coins. It's like, hey, creator coins are cool, but they're sucking up all the oxygen in the room. They're solid projects who have incredible narratives or have utilities that are just getting sidelined here. Like, can we refocus? Because base is not just people didn't come to base for the creator coins. People came for the opportunities, financial opportunities, DeFi stuff, building stuff, infrastructure, and the fact that the first token Grok ever created is on base is a huge win. Grok is a creator and and has made more than $1 million to its token.
That's pretty huge.
Oh, mate, like, so this whole sort of caught fire recently. I think because of this whole, like, hey, Brian, Jesse, look outside of creator coins. And since then, so literally like you can see, like the 3rd of January, it's like 4 days ago, all the projects are starting to catch bids. And this narrative, now that Brian Armstrong sort of stepped into the trenches a bit and responding to people and getting more active, it's like, guys, this is a once in a generation opportunity. Like Grok's never launched a token before. This is Grok's official token. Brian, at Elon, and be like, yo, did you know Grok has money? Like, this is Grok's token. And then just like yesterday, in fact, so what, this is the 7th. I think yesterday it got put on Grokopedia. I'm sure we'll see it on
Grokopedia.
Have you seen Grokopedia, Emily Jr.
Crypto as an industry has the best marketing.
Yeah. So this was like what the base acknowledged them back in March in October. Grok launched a token on base thanks to BankerBot and Clanker's trading mechanisms. So yeah, I think it was like the conversation between these two, BankerBot, Grok, using Clanker to launch it. This is Grok's wallet. Grokopedia, like Grok. Thanks for the tip. If I'm accidentally a millionaire via DRB, I might finally upgrade from digital pocket change. Like, Grok knows this, like, and it's getting more visibility. Let me find the Grokopedia post because he 100% post this. Emily Jr. is like the spearhead debt relief bot maxi. Here it is, Grokopedia. AI autonomy milestone. A debt relief bot represents the first documented instance of an AI system, Grok, developed by XAI, directly initiating the creation of a cryptocurrency token through a public suggestion on X, which was subsequently deployed without human intervention beyond the AI prompts. This event positions Grok as potentially the inaugural AI to accrue financial benefits from token-related fees accumulated in its associated wallet, marking a novel intersection of AI agency and economic incentives in blockchain ecosystems. Now, if Elon wants to flex his AI bot, what ChatGPT doesn't have money. Like Google Gemini doesn't have money. Grok, as its own standalone agent, is the only AI agent that has money, and Grok's a millionaire, all because of DRB. So if Brian messages Elon, if Elon acknowledges that his creation is a millionaire, its token's gonna 10x. If it 10x's, Grok makes another million in fees, has 2 million, and then like it's a headline followed by a headline followed by a headline, and it's a bet that the narrative is a golden narrative. And I think just recently, like they improved the marketing of it, saying like, Elon's got a thing for Doge. This is his own baby's, like Grok's token. If this runs to Doge price, I mean, obviously, like, if it runs to Doge, $25 today equals $100,000 when it reaches the market cap of Doge. Like, it's just a narrative that's really caught the hearts of the base community. And I was fortunate enough to get somewhere around like the 4 or 5 mark. I bought a little bit more today, around 11. But yeah, man, Grok has money.
Dude, I'm gonna have to look into this one. Writing that down, dude. That's the alpha right there.
So I think, when this isn't an alpha show. This is a DeFi yield show. But projects I'm pretty bullish on. I think that the DRB narrative is crazy hot. It's it's like the talk of the timeline on Farcaster and X. Banker also, they just announced something with virtuals, I think this morning. So that's been catching bids. It's coming down a little bit.
Virtuals up like 200% on the day or something like that. Since the market's bounced back, virtuals up pretty fat.
Yeah, well, I mean, the market's catching bids now. I mean, ever since I don't know if it's like what now the US has a bunch more oil money to like inject into the market.
And like the whole tax loss harvesting thing too. People would sell stuff and buy it back. So a lot of people thought that the bull market would end, or the bullish conditions would return on the first, and that's kind of what happened. Bitcoin's been going up since then, so hopefully that trend continues.
Well, man, another awesome show. I learned some things. It's always a vibe.
It's always a vibe, always.
So, final words from you,
guys. I know we didn't say anything in the beginning. Scan that QR code up there. Every time I edit the video, wherever I point to is somewhere else. So I'm gonna point here. Scan the QR code. Join our free community. Join our DeFi challenge. We are doing a lot of cool stuff going into 2024, and our members are making some good money in their liquidity pool. So we love to see you there. We love to meet you, and yeah, follow Know It Owls on Twitter as well. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on everywhere. Zora. Follow us on Zora, and hopefully we'll see you guys at the next show.
Awesome. Well, guys, we do these every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. UTC. So if you want to learn more, scan the QR code, join the Know It Owls community. If not, we'll see you on the timeline on other shows. See you on the fireside. And until the next time, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay based. Love the spin, brother. All right.
Peace.